Bryan Baeumler, you're here in Halifax. What brings you here?
I am here. Well, I'm here for a number of reasons. I mean, a big one today, the big announcement is that all of the Chorus channels, HGTV and food and all the great content that people love is back available on Eastlink. So I also have East Coast in my blood.
Okay, really? What's the connection?
We've got family in Cape Breton and Halifax, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. My mom grew up in Cox Heath, so it's always nice to come back home.
Well, happy belated 50th birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's taken a long time for a show to actually have your last name in it.
It has. Yeah, no, we started with the first names. Actually, Disaster DIY was the first series. We started shooting that just about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the concept for Leave It to Bryan came up. It was born out of Disaster DIY when I would get called in to fix jobs in someone's home. And the husband always said, I want to put a man cave in the basement. And I would look around and think, well, you have single pane windows and mold in the basement, asbestos in the attic. That's really not what you need. And just as every contractor and builder wants to do, I said, I wish I could do something where just show up and the homeowner gives me their keys and their money and leaves. And that's how we built that. And it evolved from there.
I'm from an age of, This Old House was probably the first show about renovations and home maintenance that I can recall.
And that was a real how-to, step by step, 1, 2, 3. Not a lot of backstory on that.
Right.
And there was quite an evolution. I mean, I grew up on that as well.
And to take me through that, your Instagram says you're a dad and you build things.
I build stuff.
So where did this television part of the world happen for you? How did that connection happen? How did this career trajectory come about?
Wow. Going back, I opened my first company at 14, a handyman company on Georgian Bay.
Mowing lawns?
Yeah, mowing lawns, painting decks, scraping old paint, those kind of things. And my partner in that business, he went the trade school route. I went to university, did a degree in political science and business, and we bumped into each other after the fact, and he's building beautiful homes in BC, and I said, I made a mistake, went back to trade school,
right.
And got back into construction. But using some of that knowledge I had from school, I mean, marketing is a huge part of any business development, business growth, and I had offered some free services for 3 months to a production company in the HGTV space, and you have to be careful what you ask for. It all got twisted around, and I found myself sitting at a desk. How would you like to have your own show? And we just went for it, and it's been a journey. It's been a quick 20 years.
But moving from actually producing content to producing television shows, that's a lot different. There's a lot more moving parts, moving pieces.
There sure are. Yeah, I've got a great partner in production that we produce with now, and of course with HGTV over the years, spending time doing other shows, Home to Win and Handyman Challenge and things like that. Renovation Resort that has a new season coming out this year with Scott and I, and a new series that we've just announced, Building Baeumler, which will be an evolution of the Island of Bryan series, and more building, more lessons, more life. More of the complete picture, and breaking that fourth wall a little bit, so taking people with us on that journey.
4 kids. You've been married almost 20 years.
Yes.
And the internet's a horrible place for people to run with speculation.
Is it? Okay.
There's a whole page about you and your relationship and your marriage, and have they divorced? Are they still together? Sarah's involved with the new show.
She is, yeah. No, Sarah's involved in everything. I mean, we show things that are raw and real, and if you work with your spouse, there are stressful moments and discussions and things that happen. We've had a few moments certainly where the camera crew quietly puts down their gear and removes themselves from the situation. But it's a standard life in marriage. Sarah does. A lot of the design work. We work together, 4 kids. We've got 3 teenagers now, and Josephine is on her way. So, yeah, it's life.
So unscripted television, but yet you need to have a plan to get a job done.
In theory.
In theory, okay.
Yeah, we'll do some of the format shows. We don't script anything. There's a certain format with how the show will flow. For Island of Bryan and Building Baeumler, there's so many factors at play that we really don't know what's going to happen. The new series Building Baeumler, one of the exciting parts is we have this moonshot expansion development plan, but we're not there yet. So we're really writing the show as it happens, and as different interesting things happen, we'll chase that storyline. And there's always a storm just over the horizon, which creates, I guess, some interest for viewers. They want to see I think people either watch to think, I'd love to do that, but I like to see him in that situation, or it's aspirational.
I kind of put it to, in perspective of, for a while in the early 2000s, everybody was building motorcycles on television.
Yes.
And everybody thought that'd be pretty cool, but there are really few custom motorcycle shops that came out of that era. Everybody needs a place to live.
It's true. It's true.
So when you're doing a public meet and greet like later today, are people asking you about Bryan the TV guy, or are they asking you, hey, listen, I have a problem with my sink?
A little bit of everything. I mean, the most common question I get, to be honest, is when are you coming to my house? But technical questions, and that's one of the reasons, too, I travel to a lot of home shows and across the country and speak to a lot of people just about the industry that I'm in. I mean, I love building and fixing and fixing complex problems and sharing that information with people as well and engaging them in the show and what we're doing as a family. And there's so many facets to it. And I think that's one of the great things about a lot of the content that we produce and the other Chorus channels produce is that you can, it's not just a show about building. It's building, it's relationships, it's business. Bryan's All In that I shot all last year, 2 episodes down in Newfoundland, just north of us here. Drove through, spent some time in Nova Scotia and took the ferry, but more about business and business development and growth and young people getting into that and having those hands-on skills. So there's so many facets of it that interest people, and I'm still interested in it. So I get a lot of questions.
Lifelong learning. I mean, clearly you said university. Well, no, wait, I'll go back to trade school. But even the trade industry is changing. And new products, new services, new techniques.
Yep.
How do you keep on top of that and do a series of television shows?
Yeah, a lot of television shows. I think, a lot of it is attending the trade shows and, IBS down in Vegas and KBIS and some of the bigger ones in the U.S. and across Canada, all the home shows. You're meeting the contractors, you're meeting the manufacturers, you're looking at the designs. We're talking to our Baeumler approved network of contractors, which is quite a few down in Nova Scotia, about the products they're using. And really what I say to people, there's so many products available, you have to choose the one that makes sense to you. There's 100 ways to do it right, but there's 1,000,000 ways to do it incorrectly. So you have to choose the products that make sense to you and the method that makes sense to you and that you can afford and just commit.
2 final questions. One, what's it like to be a quote-unquote Canadian television celebrity?
I don't know. It's interesting. I'm just me. I still get in line at Timmy's and say hi to people and talk to people. Just more people know me. I forget sometimes. We travel so much and we're working. I'll be at the gas station and hear my name scream. What? And then
what are you staring at me for?
Yeah. No. Yes. Of course. So I'm on TV every day. So it's been fun. I mean, I'm a people guy and love meeting and chatting with people. And it's great to be able to share things with people to show them, you can be a young person coming out of school with nothing, and you can work 100 hours a week, for 20 years, and you can do something in the trades. There are so many different opportunities to create your own business and make a life for yourself and do different things within that. You don't have to just pick a lane and stay in it. You can drive across all the lanes. Metaphorically speaking.
Of course.
Yes.
So thank you for promoting the fact that the trades are an incredibly valuable career and that not everyone is cut out for university or business college or taking that path. So
it's true.
So thank you for that. And secondly, there was a video of you in a helicopter.
Oh, yes.
And I know you fly. Was that your chopper?
No, that's not my chopper. That was a good friend of mine, but I am slowly learning. So I'm experiencing that. Interesting, side note about the trades. I go for breakfast once every couple of weeks with 5 or 6 other people who are pilots and fly, and they're all contractors and builders. We all own our own businesses, and we get in. We talk about the industry as well. We just talk about it at a restaurant where we've all flown to have the $100 hamburgers. So.
It's $500 hamburger now with fuel prices.
It depends what you fly there, certainly. Right. But it's as a career, I speak to a lot of trade colleges as well and high school kids. There are so many facets to it, from architecture to running the business for the trade itself, and talking to young people who work for me that their aspirations are to have their own business. And I say, look, work for me for the next 10 years, make your mistakes, learn, and take a course on how to run a business at night. Learn how to actually run the business, because we have a lot of great employees that are incredibly skilled with their hands, and they were self-employed, but at some point you have to run the business. You've got to show up when you say you're going to be there. You have to do what you say you're going to do, clean up at the end of the day, cash the check, pay your taxes, and you can sleep well at night.
Absolutely. Well, welcome back to Halifax, and
thanks for having me.
Thank you for this. And once we shut this off, I'll ask you about politics. Thank you so much, Bryan Baeumler.
I got a few ideas.